Yo, what's the crap, boys? There's an interesting conversation about Kawhi and Paul George that needs to be said. Both are up for extensions. Kawhi Leonard can have an extension now. Paul George is eligible at September 1st. The Clippers are definitely in an interesting situation here. Do you give it to them? Obviously, there's this whole history about them. Injuries, unavailability, etc. Now, with that in mind, the Clippers need to think, do we want to offer them contracts? If they don't offer them contracts, it's pretty much over. Yes, you can run it back. They have, the off-season wise, they've definitely won the off-season. They will run it back this year, absolutely. It's where, depending on, the future of the team, they want to do that. So, obviously, when Kawhi and Paul George, when that Kawhi sign happened, Paul George trade, honestly, one of the craziest days in the most recent years in the NBA. They're getting Bulls comparisons. Obviously, in the moment, yes, it was okay, this is a dynasty here, at least one or two, at least bare minimum one ring, which obviously wasn't for a pandemic or an injury that definitely could have happened, but obviously it is what it is. Paul George, Kawhi, both been absolutely unavailable their whole time. So I don't think both of them have played more than 60 games in one season, not including the playoffs. Just regular season wise, I don't know if both of them, maybe Paul George has. Kawhi, there's no way Kawhi's hit 60 games. Obviously, 2 of the seasons he's been there, one was cut short and one was obviously a shortened year. So, probably not. But, these past 2 years, obviously Kawhi's missed a whole season as well. Obviously, this season, injured in the playoffs. Paul George, right before the playoffs start, injured. Last season in the play-in, I think it was in health and safety, whatever, the corona stuff was, if I'm not wrong, or it was an injury. These guys have not been available. This could have been the year when Kawhi got injured. The Clippers seem cursed at this point. My fucking hair, bruv. Holy shit. We'll leave it at this. Clippers seem cursed at this point. Every time it looks like they're going to make a run, an injury happens or something insignificant happens. This is literally going all the way back to the Chris Paul and Blake, Lob City days. Blowing all the leads, the Chris Paul injuries, the Blake Griffin injuries, all this stuff. The Clippers are cursed. So it's like you trade away SGA, becomes a superstar, curse. Do you know what I mean? It seems like the whole franchise is cursed. So no matter what you do, it might just end the same way. Obviously, they're moving to the new arena. They're going to want to sell tickets. So this whole conversation of who do you extend, because Brian Windhorst did say himself, there's absolutely no way both of them get an extension. So you're keeping one, and you've got to either let one walk or trade him. You're not going to let, you still got this deal together. This deal can definitely still win if they're healthy. That's always been the whole point. Kawhi Leonard, arguably the top 3 player in the NBA when healthy. You get a lot of backlash for saying that because, he's never healthy, never available. Got a huge reputation of load management. It's do you want to give that to Kawhi, who is never available, load manages, there's a bit of an off-court distraction, but when he plays, literally one of the best players in the NBA, gives your team a chance to win the championship. Paul George, being the most consistent there. Obviously, he's an all-NBA talent, one of the best two-way players in the league. You probably trade away Paul George. Kawhi probably got that superstar power, recruitment. I don't know. I have no idea. I would take Paul George in the Sixers though, happily. But if you trade Kawhi, which reliability-wise is probably a better option, but then you're kind of stuck. Paul George is a good guy. He said himself he's not a one. Who are you going to trade Kawhi for? You'll probably just get role players. Paul George and a bunch of great role players. I don't see that team going far. You're better trading Paul George, extending Kawhi, which is quite risky, or you don't fully extend both of them for the 4 years, because it's a 4-year, $224 million contract. They're both up for. That's a bad move. Obviously, like I said, the new arena's coming out. If you want to sell tickets, yeah, you do that, I guess. You'll be easily selling tickets. I don't know when that arena's coming out, the next 3 years or something. Quite soon, relatively. So it's whether you just want to trade one of them. Like I said, I would just trade Paul George. You could probably get a better... Kawhi's a superstar when he's healthy, when he plays. It's just, you don't know if you can get that. But I guess that's a risk you take. You can't just leave this situation up. You can't just leave this guaranteed championship situation, trading away a superstar and a future Hall of Famer in SGA, and get nothing out of it. Especially when you drafted SGA, you must get something out of this. Obviously, you got the first conference finals appearance, so you got bare minimum stuff, but you need to get something out of Paul George or Kawhi and keep that team together while you can. Personally, after this season just happened, after both of them injured, you probably should blow it up, rebuild. You probably, before Dame requesting a trade, you probably could have traded Paul George to the Blazers and gotten Scoot. That's a huge missed opportunity. That's their future cemented right there. Kawhi Leonard, trade it. You know what I mean? There'll be someone wanting Kawhi who's got, you know, some good young players. Trade him to Miami. You get Tyler Hero, these draft picks. That's you know, it really just depends. Maybe you could have gone, trade Paul George, get Scoot Henderson, maybe Anthony Simons or Shaedon Sharpe. That's two good young players. And trade Kawhi. You would get a good package for Kawhi, especially some draft picks, what you need. So that opportunity's gone. Scoot looks like he's there on the Blazers, unless, you know, maybe Dame would stay if the Blazers got one of those two players. But you should blow it up. But like, obviously they've had a great offseason. They're okay. They're okay, I'd say. They're going to be competing next year, so they're kind of locked. But I would just blow up right now. But it looks like they're going to go on for another season. This is their last shot. Both going to be got player options. We'll have to see what happens.